All right, guys, we are live. Joe, go ahead and take it away. Take off this Tuesday evening.
What is going on, everyone? We are here. Dave is out of the shed. We have an awesome out of the stick.
Man.
We can hear you today, so let the insults roll, Mr. Dave.
What? No banjos? Couldn't hear the banjos playing last week?
No, I heard the crickets and the bad reception.
Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you, there's some banjos out there too, bud.
Man, I don't know.
Man,
you can take.
Oh yeah, we was buried. We was buried deep.
Yeah, it seemed like it, man. You were cutting in and out so bad, and oh man.
Yeah.
But it was good seeing Logger, man. How's Logger doing? What's he?
Doing great. Doing great. The he's super slammed. Bass Assassin's doing well, very well. One of the only companies that is actually able to get product to customers, buyers. So they're staying busy, trying to stay afloat, with all the demand and all the orders piling up. So he really enjoyed being able to step away for a weekend and come hang out and kind of let his hair down. Obviously cool. You can see it all coming out from under the hat.
Cool. And that's awesome, man. I think a lot of people are getting turned on to Bass Assassin for that very reason, man. So yeah. Shout out to everybody at Bass Assassin making it happen through these times. I see a lot of empty shelves on other products, but Bass Assassin keeps it full, man. Lake Placid Marine.
It's been busy. It's been real busy, man. It's been tough to kind of keep up with orders and things like that. So, hey, look, guys, nothing wrong with the product before, nothing wrong with it now. People just weren't familiar with it, and I've been using it now for 15 years and have made a pile of money on it.
It gets the job done for sure.
Oh, it does. Yep.
Dave, since you put me on, I rarely have any other brand, and not because I don't like other brands or what I'm sponsored or whatever the case may be. It's because it actually works. Hands down, day in, day out. That's what I throw. I mean, it's tried and true. And Andrew found out a little secret about something the past couple of days, didn't he?
It was hard. What was that? Wednesday? No, Friday. Friday we went. My days are so bundled up right now.
Hear you.
Friday we went, and he had sat there for 45 minutes. He didn't believe me. He didn't believe. He was like, really, no. really. He just kept. That's a lot of bait, man. Hey, you do what you want to do. Saturday I had my tournament, and one of the techniques was rattle bait. The other technique was a chatterbait with that vapor shad on the back of it. And 20 pounds. It was a lot of fish being caught by us and not many other people.
Good,
really.
That's a testament to the product we use, man. It really is.
No, absolutely. So we got Brian. He says, shout out to Bass Assassin.
Yeah.
Caught 2 redfish and 3 trout on the lures Joe gave me. What lures did you give him?
The sea shad.
Sea shad. There you go.
So I'm sure Mr. Brian Scape's gonna be making an order to Bass Assassin here pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
For that, those redfish and trout.
116 colors, was it, Joe?
116. But you can't get
wrong. I didn't know there were that many.
No, we were talking about 40 the first time, and then the next thing I know,
I'm like, there's like over 30. Yeah,
definitely Jeez. Over 30. No, but that vapor shad, by the way, Dave, has also for me by itself, weightless on a 5/0. I've been murking them on that thing, dude, up shallow. It's a great lure as well.
So let me drop a little knowledge real quick before we jump on to Nick. So the vapor shad on the back of a chatterbait has been a sleeper. It's something that we started running a little over a year ago. And I know for a fact we have 7 pictures of fish over 10 pounds from Kissimmee to Okeechobee, up there at Orange Lake as well.
Nice.
So
there's still big fish there.
So, but that being said, a little something I showed Andrew that I'm sure I guarantee he forgot. But another way of using that bait, Joe, is a belly weighted hook, or just the regular weightless hook. But you could throw it out there, and when the fish are really finicky and not really feeding, it swims. Just turn the handle with one little twitch of the rod, and it'll swim. And then that twitch of the rod will make it dart, and then it'll kind of track.
Just keep coming.
It'll make it dart. So it does have a swimming action to it as well. Now, it's not just your normal soft jerk bait.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I've noticed, and now that you mention that, now you got me thinking. Now you got the wheels turning, because on that, even on that weightless rig, it tends, in my opinion, it has a slight quiver.
Yeah.
As it falls, and I think I can jerk pause, and on that pause, that little quiver gets.
Just the way that body's tapered, it has a good swimming action to it, and it's something that works good on the back of a swim jig when they're not as, that bigger profile, and they're focused on a, the big shad, type of thing. It has that little bit bigger profile because it's a 5-inch trailer,
right?
So, what you want to do there is trim down the skirt a touch.
Gotcha.
So it's not as bulky, and it makes a heck of a trailer on a swim jig as well when you're slow rolling it, just on that little bit deeper water, deeper grass edge.
Right, like a ledge or something like that. Cool, cool.
No, that's insane. So what? I got that jackhammer from Fellsmere, right? And then I got the Vapor Shad. We put it together. You hooked it up for me. You got the whole rig set up. That exact setup that you made on the bar in Fellsmere, I used, and I caught. First fish on it was about a 3-pounder. Next one was a 4. Next one was a 5, and it was stupidly back to back. Like it was not. I felt like it was like a glitch in time because there was people fishing this whole stretch, and they were not catching anything, nothing. And they're throwing speed worms, they're throwing Texas rig, they're throwing all sorts of stuff. One guy was throwing a Senko. You would think you would catch fish on a Senko just because that's the way it is. But I walked down there. I threw first 3 casts. I didn't catch anything, and I realized that I was reeling too fast. So I was using an 8.3 to 1, so I slowed down, dude. When that 500 hit, I felt like I thought I foul hooked a turtle because it stuck, and I was like, okay, and it just like slowly moved towards the deeper water, and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what is this?
That's a big fish. Then it came out deep like that.
Yeah, then it came up, and I was like, oh man, this is awesome.
Well, I got that phone call. Dave, man, they're knocking the crap out of it. I think it's too big. I'm like, no, those are the small fish because you're really fast. Slow it down some, and then next thing I know, no exaggeration, 30 minutes tops. Here's Andrew with a 5-pounder, and I was just like, I just started laughing. He goes, dude, this thing's awesome.
Yeah, and it does look a little.
Let me tell you something. That same setup. Now, I have other Z-Man chatterbaits here, right? They're not the jackhammer. I gave one to Tyler yesterday. Yesterday at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He left my house, and we ran and did some errands. And I came back, and he was still down there fishing. And he had caught himself a 5-pounder. There was another, I want to say a 4, a 2, and then like a 1-pounder on it. And he was going nuts. So I took my rod down there, and I went casting. I cast like 6 or 7 times. I didn't get anything. Tyler cast directly where I cast right after me as I moved down, and he freaking locked into this beast. Dude, he set the hook. I thought he was stuck on like a pipe, like a plumbing pipe, because there's a fountain in the water. Like he didn't move, and he's like looking at me. He's like, "Dude, it's not moving." I'm like, "Well, you're probably stuck. Just give it." And all of a sudden, this fish breached the water, and dude, I was like, "That's in here."
And
like, what is that doing in here?
Thing is, like what you were using is the shad. Shad imitating the white. That's what's going on. The bluegill as well. And I noticed that Tyler's was the Houdini.
No.
So, I believe it was Houdini.
I think he had a baby bass.
It was baby bass.
Baby bass trailer. He had the baby bass trailer. It was on Houdini skirt.
Yeah.
And that Houdini skirt.
I'd have to find the package. Yeah.
Yeah. The Houdini. That fish
wanted that one.
Bluegill. So
yeah, that fish wanted that one something fierce. And
yeah, no, and
no,
that's
I've
what
got video.
Yeah,
I've got video of the whole thing that transpired, and it was nuts.
Yeah.
It was nuts. But listen, the reason we're here tonight is to talk exotics, not largemouth.
Yes.
You can catch largemouth everywhere.
Yes.
We're here to talk exotics. So, Joe, let's bring in Nick.
Let's bring
David,
him on.
You and I are going to sit back and we're going to watch.
Oh yeah,
Joe
I'm going to listen to this.
See,
It's going to be good.
See who
Let's
can
bring on Mr. Nick.
Be good.
What's up, guys?
There he
Nicholas,
is.
what's going on, man?
Can you hear me good? Am I good?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, sir.
Perfect.
You're good.
Perfect. What's up, guys?
How's
good,
it going,
man.
Nick?
Good.
I'm
Hearing
ready.
all you
I'm gonna
guys'
put all
story
your
about
info
bass
on
and
the
stuff like that. Now I want to
Nick,
go
I'm
fishing.
ready.
He's
I'm
got
ready.
the notes.
I'm writing notes.
Get that ready, brother.
So look, Nick, go ahead and do a little introduction of yourself and who you are and what you're about, and let people know about the Nicholas Beltran.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, Nicholas Beltran. I mean, I've been an angler down here in Miami for a while. I started the tournament scene, I guess, last year. Ever since I got on a kayak, I just been and getting on social media. I just been posting, and I'm just a regular freaking your average Joe, you know, your weekend warrior fisherman. So, but I'm just like everybody here. I'm not that different.
Exactly, man. And I think,
You
in
know?
my opinion, and like we've talked in the past, and that's what makes you awesome to me. You're just the guy. You know, you still have a job, you still
Thank
have
you,
other
bro. Appreciate that.
responsibilities, and you're out there wrecking them every single time you get on the water, man.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it.
So we're here to talk exotics. We're here to talk exotics, man. You,
Bring it
in
on.
my opinion,
Bring it
you
on.
are a legend, dude, in the exotic game down south, man. So
that's
we were talking
a big wait a second. That is a big title. That's
legend,
a huge
dude.
title.
You're
Joe.
a legend, man. You're killing them. You're catching them, bud.
Yeah, I don't see too many people.
That's his tactic. That's his tactic, Dave.
I don't see too many people posting like you though, Nicholas.
Not
man.
like Nick, dude. I'll be at work.
Yeah,
I'll be at work, Dave.
good,
All I hear is like 15 freaking peacocks come through, bro, all over like
yeah, man.
Jesus. Man. So
I mean, I try to, bro. I try to be consistent. That's all. To answer that, I just really try to be consistent.
What got you started in peacocks? Why peacocks? Obviously there's a lot of them down there, and you know that's we were just talking about that too. They're almost hard not to find at a certain point. But there's also techniques and tactics that go into this. So explain a little bit about that. You know, why peacocks, and let people know that they're not as easy as they may seem to catch. You know, especially on artificial, because a lot of guys are out there shiner fishing with them, and that's a little bit easier. I think everybody could agree with that. But you're out here on these artificial tips and killing them. So what's the deal with it?
Yeah, I mean to start, I've like you said, I've been raised here. I was born here and raised here, so I pretty much, you know, they were here. You know, they were right by me. They're really close. I love to do salt. My first thing was saltwater fishing. I did a lot of backcountry, so I come from that, you know, that saltwater background. I still do, but I don't do it as often. And the easiest thing to do is to go out to your local, you know, pond or whatever, and fish for peacock. That was I just grew up with that. That's all I knew. And fishing with my dad, fishing with my uncle at the time, they're the ones that influenced me to do it and taught me a lot. And yeah, I mean, peacock it was second nature to us here, you know. So I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, those exotics," and the more I get involved in this, the more I hear a lot of northern guys freaking out. And to me, it's just weird to talk to someone that's like, "Oh my God, you fish for peacock?" And "Oh my God, I've been dreaming my entire life to go down there. It's my like dream fish." And to me, it's an odd feeling, an odd weird sense of like, well, these things are right back. I mean, you can literally like I can take you.
Right here.
I got them right here. I can catch them right now live for you. You know. But I mean, so it's one of those things where I just grew up fishing them, so it's awesome. Second nature to me. But as far as catching them and stuff, I mean, I'm an artificial guy. You know, I've always been strong in artificial. I've done it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've done live bait. I've done the whole thing, but I don't know, man. I cannot for the life of me. If I catch the same huge fish on an artificial, and one on live bait, the artificial
It's
wins
the
it.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It blows it out of the water, man. It's a whole different.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain to those who really like live bait, like that hold on to it. And it's, and I hate to be that person to say, oh, well, you're catching them all day. Well, because you're using live bait, because that's not,
Yeah, but
Right.
the right thing to
that's
do.
the lazy way. It's not an accomplishment. You know what I mean? It's
Well,
really not.
I feel like you've got two anglers. You've got the angler that goes out there that just wants to catch something.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you got the angler that does it because, you just get a sense of pride.
Right.
And the hard work, it's the hard work that you're gaining when you're catching fish, even if it's like an inch, like it's you put so much work to it,
I feel like it's more like almost like a hunting, in my opinion, when you're using an artificial. You're almost hunting those fish. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah. But even with that, even with hunting, I know a lot of hunters. I'm not gonna mention their names that are like, oh, dude, I'm a great hunter. I go out there and I work really hard. I got the tent set up in the tree, and but then you hear them say, sorry, Dave. Then you hear them say, yeah, but I got them pinned up. They're like pinned in like about an acre. Well, dude, I mean,
like 50 deer.
You can literally spit. You can spit and it land on a deer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a hard hunter. I put my time in. And
right.
pile of corn out right in front of my stand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I post stuff on the corn feeder, right?
Yeah.
Or that too. Yeah, I heard of that. It's just
I've totally have heard exactly of that and know that it's true.
So Nicholas, tell me, you have one go-to bait, one bait to use to catch a peacock. What is your go-to bait?
Man, that's a very hard question. That's a tough one, bro.
You knew it was coming.
That's a tough one because ever since I started fishing, I've always fished with like variety of baits, and I was one of those kids that would just switch every. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've gotten so much better at learning other baits. Is because I've always switched baits, and I think it's because another thing that I've when I did the tournament thing, I noticed that it has its it's good for tournament fishing because you're always on the go. You're always switching to a certain situation that's happening. And I think it makes you a better angler. It makes you it gives you a better chance out there. Now I'm not the type that switches every 5 seconds, but if I see something change, if I feel like there's something going on that the bite is changing, I'm one of those that switches right away. And I do understand those that say, okay, well, stick with what and go with that. That has its, there's days where that works too. But I mean, I'm one of those guys that switch. But if I had to choose one,
give me one.
Oh man,
give me one. Anything out today? Anything out yesterday or the day?
Dude,
anything that Nicholas can say. Well, I have to have this because this is the winning fish. I need to have this particular bait on. I haven't caught a fish all day, but that is it. And I'm going to catch him.
Torpedo, brother.
Oh, you're top water
guy. A torpedo. I've caught.
Did not expect that. Top water.
No, look, I'm like,
I know a lot of anglers say, well, dude, come on, you give that to a beginner and he's gonna catch something. But
no.
But
there's a process for that thing.
There is a process, but this is my only reason. I've caught every single species of fish that I've caught. Obviously my experience. Every single fish I've caught on a torpedo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you have that one go-to.
I don't care what the color is. I mean, I'm not one of those guys that are colorist when it comes to top water, unless it has that bright white belly. But top water, bro, and a torpedo, if you throw that, it's deadly. I've brought fish from like 10 feet of water up to hit a freaking torpedo.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say the torpedo is a good search bait too, because you can bring them up and you can find them.
Definitely.
My favorite, and I'm sure David Harper with the X-Wraps. That's a classic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
the XR8.
Yeah,
XR8 money.
Dude, there's an XR4 now. That's like
Really?
an 1.5 long. Money, but
is it really?
Yeah, Mega Bass Vision 110. Believe it or not. is my favorite peacock bait. Something about it, man. I think it's the rattles in it, and it draws them, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely that does help. And when I'm doing the rattle trap, I'm noticing that's what's bringing them up. You know, that's what's agitating them more. So yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, honestly, peacock bass, anything that shines, anything that rattles, anything that
fast.
Yeah, I mean, anything fast is like that will work. I mean, but I've literally caught peacock on anything.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people love to like over exaggerate how hard it is to catch a peacock. They're pretty much all year round. I find they're very aggressive.
Isn't the key just to like annoy them?
Essentially, yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah.
To an extent, like
Andrew, you have a new nickname.
Oh
God.
Peacock.
You gotta let me fly. Joe,
you have a new nickname.
You get called a peacock the last show. What is this?
You gotta fly now, Andrew. You gotta fly.
Yeah, no, I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Spread your feathers.
Man.
So yeah, man. To answer your question, Joe, like I've used everything to catch these peacock, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you that one specific thing is gonna catch them, but I've used everything, bro. Spinner bait. I've caught them on worms, bro. I've caught them on worms.
That's
with the hook embedded in the worm.
Oh my!
You know what I mean? Like a lot of people down here, they try to get that hook out to expose it so they can get a better bite. But I've hit them with everything, bro.
I like them on little the Elite Shiner, Dave.
Yes.
On little ball head.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I can see that working.
So I've even got one even better for you. So you like that little Elite Shiner, but you know that there's a crappie dye dapper that's 2-inch swim bait.
Oh, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
2-inch swim bait. So,
I've seen those too, yeah.
So Nicholas, tell me now on the sizes. You know, I hear because see, I have zero knowledge. I have yet to hook one. I will hook one here soon, but I've heard that the smaller the bait, the better. Is that? I mean,
not always.
Not always. I mean that. Again, I've caught them with everything, any size. I've caught them with anything. I mean, I caught an 8-pound peacock bass. That was the biggest I've caught recently, and this is like a year ago.
Holy crap!
And I'm saying 8 pounds because I was the dumb one that didn't like take a picture and send it off to that app.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it right. I was so excited. I'm one of those guys. I get super excited, no matter if it's like a 2-pounder.
The next thing you know, it's in the water. You're like, dang.
Yeah.
Man.
It was. I mean, I did the whole weighing it thing, and it came out to like 9.2, something like that. But I'm gonna play it safe and say it was 8.
Okay.
But an 8-pound peacock bass is
insane.
That's steroids, right?
That's insane. But listen, that right there is what a peacock bass in the Amazon would eat.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Messed up, ain't it?
Look, I've seen those wood choppers. I mean,
there was a
huge 12, 14-inch, 15-inch freaking bait with these huge. They look like boat props on the back of them. They're called wood choppers.
They use plugs, huge plugs.
Man, I'm like, that's what you use? You
can catch them here like that too.
On those,
give me 10 casts with that, I'm on the O2, brothers. Give me the
So what I've noticed, listen, so Dave, you bring up that, and I brought up the plug thing. What I've noticed, and I've been using plugs lately a little bit more to see if I can spice them up. I've been using the plugs that Band of Anglers actually have. And I'm talking about this long.
Really?
Big ones. Yeah.
Plugs, big ones.
Really?
And I've literally tried using them out in the Everglades, and I haven't caught anything, but I've gotten hit by massive peacock bass with those things. And the trick is, okay, what these things is, they like that. And I've watched a lot of these Amazon videos, and I've noticed what they do is they reel in fast, they stop, and then they jerk it. Reel in fast, stop, jerk it. Next time you see one of those videos, you'll notice what I'm talking about. Right at that minute that they go ahead and jerk it, that's when they get nailed all the time.
They just crazy. There was like a 25 pound bass, not peacock, not caught in Was it caught in Colombia, or what? Where was it? It was
I
caught
would not
somewhere
doubt
not in.
The Amazon.
Well, Colombia.
It was not. It was. No, this was Costa Rica, maybe.
Okay.
Interesting. I don't know, but those big baits work down here too, bud. Yeah, they definitely work down here. Like you were saying, Nick, my experience with the bigger baits is they don't always hit them. You don't always hook them.
No,
not down here specifically. I just don't think they have the size that they do, but they will still attack that.
No, they will still do it. Sure. They'll still.
Dude, I've seen them eat baby iguanas. I've seen baby iguanas fall off of palm fronds and freaking.
I've seen them eat the lizard. So yeah, that definitely, bro, definitely. I mean,
if we have some of our viewers that decide to go down to your backyard, what kind of outfits, rod reel combos, line, what would they have to pack? Let's say just a little fanny pack like what Andrew packs.
A little kid, yeah.
Type of thing.
It goes on the front.
Hey, listen, Dave, it's simple. You're not going to a tournament, okay? So it's simple. Yeah. All you need is a rod, no matter what it is. Okay.
I'm coming with a damn broomstick.
You're gonna at least need more than 10 pounds. If you want to make sure you come home with a big one. And just all the lures we just mentioned right now. I mean, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. XRA.
So you use straight braid? You use just straight fluorocarbon, or use?
I use straight braid. I use straight braid, and I use a leader sometimes, depending on where I'm at. I mean,
sure.
But I try not to use leader with Peacock because they're so aggressive and because they smash the crap out of your lure. They'll I'm trying to get they'll mess up the line a lot. But I mean, I've literally caught them with anything, bro.
Okay.
And you're not getting frayed off on the braid, Nick?
I'm sorry, what?
You don't get frayed off on the braid?
I do sometimes. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Believe it or not, I use the cheapest.
I do too.
Zebco OmniFlex at Walmart.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
12-pound Zebco OmniFlex.
Right.
Have yet to be frayed off. To be frayed off. That's straight mono.
That's great.
It's weird. I don't like throwing mono straight. Just do
1 point for Joe, because I don't think that's ever happened to me.
Dude, and you can get 700 yards for $1.94.
I think I'll be the honest one and say that I fray all the time.
No, never. I've never frayed off on this. Now I've frayed off on the braid.
Yeah.
And you know how they'll get you under those ledges that you were talking about.
The shelf, those limestone shelves. Yeah.
And they can just tear you up.
Right.
You can.
Oh, yeah.
And the lily pads. I mean, if you go to the Everglades here where I go fishing, they'll wrap you up in those thick lily pads, and that can be a problem too. So I mean, I've been now used to. I used to use regular monofilament and but now I'm using braid, and I think it just works for every situation.
What size braid do you like?
I think right now I haven't changed my size braid since I've done the tournament scene, so I've stuck with 20.
Okay.
Nice.
But you don't need 20. I mean, I go crazy and I use 20, but you really don't need 20.
Yeah. You can go down there with 15 and like a 2500, style, and medium heavy action rod probably be the best,
Yeah, I mean, something like that. I mean, typically my rod, if you look at my rods, they're all 7.2, 7.
Yeah.
That's my go-to rods for anything. I mean, for any setup, I think I always use those. I do have a real flimsy rod, like a very light rod. Sometimes I like to catch them like that. It's awesome to catch those like that.
Yeah.
And I typically use my fly rod. I love catching peacock and fly. I mean that.
So
you guys have
whole other thing, man.
That's a whole other thing. But
it's cool. There, I'm not ready.
Andrew and
I will come down and fish fly with you.
Oh, should we do it? Should we do a fly versus me and Dave?
But can you fly fish in a canal that's only like maybe a couple of feet long?
10 feet wide.
Yeah, I can.
That's the problem. With the wind hitting,
I'm good with that.
With the wind hitting,
flipping stick.
Yeah.
No, I'm good with that.
There he is. Look at him. There he is. Oh, is that the pocket?
Oh my!
Oh.
What is that?
Oh,
the zipper's close. Hold on, guys.
He's gonna show us his fly.
Hey!
Please don't.
Listen. Well, I'm gonna have to cut it. It's been a minute since it's been opened. It's got some
well, that tells you a lot.
Or like corrosion. Yeah, no, but it's safe and secure in there.
What about any other like bycatches? Like, what's the craziest? Because that obviously, like I said, I was from Homestead. There's a ton of different species down there. You know, since we're talking exotics.
Yeah.
What is like the craziest species you've caught? Because I mean, there's like jaguar capotes down there, tons of different cichlids.
Yeah,
and some are like worth hundreds of dollars. And so
jaguars
I would
awesome.
I'd fish the canals at 41 with my dad growing up, and that's what got me started. And
dang, I haven't been there in a long time. Jeez.
There's some big bees in there right now, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm sure.
But so what's like the craziest thing you've ever caught out there?
I mean, craziest things. I mean, there's the jaguars, like you said. There's the Mayan cichlids, which is like a pest, man. I can't stand catching those things. Craziest things I've ever caught. I mean, these canal systems are so like where I live by. The canal system here are so close to the backcountry, to the Bay Area, that you'll catch a snapper.
Yeah.
Really?
you catch snappers down here.
Really?
You know, I think that's the craziest thing that I've ever caught. I mean, I've caught snappers, obviously, but these freshwater canals, you'll catch yourself a nice sized snapper, a mangrove snapper.
The 14-inch snappers will be out there sometimes.
Holy cow.
And you know where you catch them? In the pilings. You'll catch them underneath the bridges. That's where they're at.
So you catch a bass, you catch a peacock, you catch cichlid, you catch
Miami. That's Miami, bro. That's Miami.
Might be a hammerhead flowing through.
But you know what? I'll take that back. That's not the craziest thing. The craziest thing I've caught, and the biggest, I'm going to tell you right now, the biggest fish I've caught out of a freshwater area has been a jack.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
A jack.
Yeah. No, they run big back there, man.
I've caught like 25 pounders, like
what?
That's massive freaking jacks, dude. I'll take you to a place, Joe, when you come down here.
Yeah.
We'll be in the middle. You would be set up for bass fishing. You will hook up into a school of big jacks down here. Easily.
I want to put some of this gear to the test, man. I love just testing my gear too.
Easily.
So the last time I went to Miami, we explored the canals, and the craziest thing was I saw a peacock bass that was easy pushing, let's just say 6 to 7 pounds, next to an 8 to 10 pound large, next to a 36-inch snook, like all in one little section. And it was just the most insane thing to me, and we couldn't get any of them to bite.
David is shaking his head. Yeah, bro. We have everything out here, bro. Everything. Everything.
It looks like you're in a Bass Pro looking at a tank, right? Like
right. Everything in there.
And the canals are all of them.
And like 15. Yeah, like 15 feet offshore from that, you're seeing tarpon roll. Like it's just it's absolutely nuts.
That's crazy. That would be so much fun. Man. I mean, we go up Snook Haven, Peace River, like way up where it gets fresh water. You know, catching the bass, catching the snook and stuff like that. I couldn't even imagine, like.
Yeah, bro. You'll be fishing. You'll see a snook pass by. It's.
I'd be done, dude. I'd be done. I love catching snook. I love catching snook. I'd look at that 10-pound bass and be like, "Yeah, I've caught a couple of you already."
No, I mean, largemouth bass will always have a place in my heart, bro. I mean, I'm sorry, snook. I've caught snook like thousands of times, bro.
Yeah.
And a bass it's just something about a bass, bro.
Oh, hey.
Oh yeah.
I chased him every week, all week long.
Yeah. I had to give the bass some props. You're giving too much credit to the snook, so I had to. Put it back.
It's one of those where I chase bass now. I chase bass now for 10 years. I chased the redfish on tour. Making money, tournament stuff. And it was just so much fun because it's such an adrenaline rush. They're so much more powerful, but it was so cool how I could take everything that I learned in the bass world and apply it in the redfish world. And it was comical because the red fishing anglers are just so one-dimensional, where if spoon doesn't work, if a topwater doesn't work, and they can't dead stick a gulp shrimp, then they can't
Yeah.
catch
They're
it.
lost.
You know, and I'm sitting there just like, I'm drop shotting them. I'm throwing 5-inch swim baits at them, like I would bass, things like that. And man, I can't tell you how many times I was wearing fish out. And people are like, "What are you doing?" Well, you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, snook has that. Snook have that problem down here too. Snook, there's a time where they get lockjawed, and there's no way. I mean, there's no way you're gonna catch that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to places where there's huge snook, and you're sitting there wondering, dude, I think I've thrown everything that I can think of at this thing. You could probably even throw live bait and they won't even hit it.
Yeah. You go ahead and pull out that little crappie jig and watch what happens.
I read somewhere. I would love to see that right. I read somewhere a while back that snook spend majority of their time, like almost like I want to say it's like 250 days a year in fresh water.
Yeah.
And that just boggles my mind because they're known as a saltwater species to the general, populace, so to speak.
Right.
Well, I mean,
well, think about it. Those mangroves backcountry areas, they don't have as much. Yeah, they don't have that much salt as they do. So I mean, that's for sure.
But you'll like up here near me, you'll see redfish and snook in Blue Springs, and that's like miles and miles, hundreds of miles away.
Yeah, just like Dave was saying on the Peace River, I'll catch snook in Wauchula, dead center of the state. You know what I mean?
It's not
big snook, not little ones either. Big.
Well, I think I've heard that they're catching snook in the outer rim of Okeechobee, if I'm not mistaken. I think I've heard that.
Snook, I've actually caught 2. I know a guy who was throwing a horny toad. This was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Throwing a horny toad over on the shoal down south there, just north of Joe's Cut, and caught a tarpon, a 20-pound tarpon on a freaking horny toad. Sign me up, dude. That would be
crazy,
bro. Those horny toads are awesome too, man.
Yeah, but
that's another bait.
But oh my god, when you're bass fishing,
no, dude. To speak on that, there was a whole bunch of people fishing the north end of Lake George up here on the west bank, right out of Salt Spring Run. They're bass fishing. Dude hooks and lands a 75-pound tarpon.
That's nice.
In George?
How do you do that on bass fishing tackle?
Yeah, what do you?
Because you're not prepared with a 50, 60-pound leader. If that, like,
that was straight braid. Somebody was straight braid, 50, 65 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. If you say you're an angler, right, and you're a good angler, that right there would qualify. That would be a good angler for me. Someone who can, I know, right? Like someone who can use that light of a line for a monster like that.
Yeah.
That's why I have so much respect. I have so much respect for fly fishermen because I know the equipment could be strong, right? You have your equipment to catch these big fish out there, but still, I feel like with fly fishing, it's such a light tackle, and to catch these monsters that they do in the Keys and in the Bahamas and stuff. When I see these things, I just freak out. I'm like, it's crazy.
Like
Andrew and I, we went to Osceola Outback, and we were there, and it was tough because we just had the cold front, and the barramundi, they do not like cold weather. They literally lock it up.
Oh, really?
And we watched a female angler and her guide. She was guiding a guy, and we watched them the whole day. Absolutely every single cast out, catch a fish. I mean, it was just, there's something.
Isn't that farmed?
Yeah. There's something mystique about a fly rod, man. It just, it's almost like live bait in a way, because it's such a small fly, and where you're sitting there slinging a big old lure at
flopping and splashing.
No, it's definitely like, to me, I think it brings out the art form.
It does
fishing more so,
Yeah.
One of I mean, I don't know so much about the history of fishing, but I think that's one of the first ever like used as like a sport. That was the first way they did it. Fly fishing. So I mean, it to me, it's an art form. I think that's the art of fly fishing. Is that
to me, it's a lot of hook removal out of the back.
That's called.
You got to get that
practice.
10-2 down, man.
I got 10 too. I got two big ears. Get hooked in my ear.
Yeah, listen, get you some duct tape and just whip them back. All right.
Just duct tape and buff up.
You'll be all right.
That's funny.
Listen, throw on that baseball helmet from your junior year of high school.
There you go.
Right.
Hey, look, I guarantee you, if I start fly fishing, I'm gonna have a baseball helmet on.
By the way, David, are you like stalking me, bro? You got my same shirt on. What's going on, dude?
Hey, check it out. AFCO just signed the new contract on last Tuesday.
Look at that. Good for you, bro.
I'm a new gear in. AFCO.
Congratulations.
Sponsor. Good stuff, man. Some of the best. This is the most comfortable shirt I put on.
Have you had a hard time convincing people that it really does work? Like this really does, like it's. I don't sweat that much when I'm on it with this shirt.
There's no sweat. It's so comfortable, unbelievably comfortable.
It dries so quickly too. So that's another thing I noticed.
And what I like about it, it hangs.
Yeah, it's not
just hangs. No, it's not just up in your neck.
Yeah.
It hangs on you. I love this shirt.
I've noticed like it washes really well too. Like if you just and you like jack it up with whatever you jack it up with, it'll come out just like it.
Oh yeah, we'll get the bugs. We'll get the bugs. You know,
come here. Love bugs and stuff. Yeah,
the chili winks and stuff like that coming off the buggy whips and the pads and. So
dude, I think I'm the only one that hasn't used AFCO.
You're missing out, dude.
Dude, you need to listen to me.
Some of my favorite shirts, dude. For
Andrew,
you need to try AFCO. You really do need to try AFCO.
Totally worth it for sure.
Andrew will talk.
I mean, their cheapest shirt, I think for me, feels great.
Yeah.
And that's where I go. I go cheap.
Yeah, and there's always sales or something, you know, and
always
they're great shirts, man. I wish I still wore mine. I didn't get the memo, guys. Next time you need to let me know. I'll put mine on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna write AFCO.
Yeah,
a piece of tape.
No,
but like Joe said, they always have deals, Andrew. If you want to pick them up, they always have deals.
You could find
I'll find deals. I know somebody on this live feed that's gonna hook me up, and if they
Andrew, you know a guy. Andrew, you know a guy.
Right? No. So awesome. You caught a fish.
Yeah, throw that
day.
Which one?
I know.
This one.
Okay, yeah, that was Sunday.
That looks like a very healthy peacock to me.
Yeah. That is called my arm is stretched on that one, I think. No, It's not stretched. Actually, I'm gonna keep it honest. It was like this. There was a little bending. But dude, I mean, anybody who sees that fish knows it's a. If you see that a hump, usually when they get to a real good size, a good catch, you see that hump on their head there.
Really?
So, yes.
Wow. Yep.
And that's pre-spawn. So that's a pre-spawn kind of like thing where I just had not an argument, but I just had a discussion on Facebook. I need to bring that up. Somebody posted that. Oh, dude, that's because I had mentioned it was a female, and they mentioned it was a male. But I noticed. So I really try to I'm trying to understand the behaviors of the peacock bass and you know, spawning and all that stuff. And usually when you see a male more aggressive than the female, I'm sorry, if you see a peacock more aggressive than the other one that's around it in these spawning scenarios, that's the male. The female is usually the one that goes around trying to like protect it, you know, and they'll be slow. It will be a slower response from them. This one was the one I actually caught the male before this one. This one took a while, but once the male was out of the area, which I purposely, the trick is to take that male, don't put it back in the same spot. The trick is to kind of like go away and dump it somewhere else. But so I waited until this one's alone, and then this one picks up that aggressiveness. And there she goes. I mean, it only takes a couple casts to it.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. It's a lot like largemouth to a point, but they're definitely more.
I don't see a difference.
Yeah.
Many will argue with me. The people that are down here will argue, but I really don't see a difference when they're in their pre-spawn or spawning stages. they pretty much do the same thing. Again, these guys are going to be a lot more aggressive than a peacock bass.
Yeah.
You might have to be there in a peacock bass and drag that jig or whatever you're using in their spot. But peacock bass are very easy to agitate, and you just got to agitate them. Sometimes I'm there for like 15 minutes trying to catch a peacock. So it's easy, but it depends on, these fish sometimes are different.
It can get frustrating for sure. Just
find bass on beds to fish for 15 minutes instead of 45.
Yeah. Well, these are different. So I've seen them bed, and I've seen them just nest on like grassy areas. They'll pick a spot up against like grass or like lily pads, and they'll be up. They won't be protecting anything on the bottom. So
really,
yeah, they're kind of they've always been weird in that sense. It depends on where they're staging and where they're at. Because in a canal, it's different than a lake.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's different based on canal systems too. I've found for fishing with them, fishing for them as much as I have. Different canal systems, different lakes. Like you said, whether they're on a lake or canals, that could be a difference too.
Right.
And they
another thing too, Dave. Sorry to interrupt you, Joe. Before I forget, I'm one of those guys that I have to unleash it because I have
unleash it
memory. Dave, another thing too is for those of you guys who are ever planning to come down here and trying to do this, I think the biggest thing I can give off in this podcast for those who are trying to catch peacock is with peacock you have to get to them. So if you see peacock staging in the deeper water, or let's say use a crankbait deep diver, those are my searching baits for these guys. A lipless crankbait like the rattle trap.
Yeah, rattle trap.
Those are my search bait for these guys. If I'm not seeing them stage in the banks, those are my search baits. And what I do is I hit the edges down here in these lakes and these canal systems. We've got deep ledges.
Yeah.
You use one of those guys and you see that they're following, that they're chasing it. That's what's going to indicate what you're going to use. So I try to get them up to me, and then use whatever, like a topwater bait or something like that, whatever I want to use from there. But usually, it's crazy. But sometimes if you see them more so on the top, then you're using that. You're using something that you're using on the top, like a Rapala or something like that. You can get them. But it's wherever they're at that day or wherever lake they're in and wherever they're at in that lake. That's what you want to use. You want to use that bait in particular to the depth of where they're at. So it depends. It really depends.
Let me ask you. Now that you say that, something popped in my head that I'd like to ask you. As knowledgeable as you are on these peacocks, with the weather changes, like the cold, the hot, obviously the hotter the weather, I would think they would get much, much, much more aggressive, being they're an aggressive fish anyways. But the cold, what does the cold actually do to these fish? I mean,
if you scroll on my Facebook page, you scroll, sorry to interrupt you, you kind of come late. If you scroll on my Facebook page, I did a live feed where I was underneath a bridge in the Everglades. And it was, I think it was 65 degrees, right? So the water temp was like 70. Or a little less than 70. This was early in the morning. I was smashing them all day. Every cast.
So they stay pretty aggressive.
70 down here is cold.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
70, 68, 67, that's cold down here.
Yeah.
I mean, you put your hands in the water, it's cold. They were still smashing it.
Wow. So they just stay aggressive year round then. I mean, I'm sure they're a little bit lethargic, but
year round. I think it all depends on where you're at. For me, a peacock bass in a canal system is a lot harder to catch than a peacock bass in the lake. Canal systems are very wide. They stretch out very long, So you have to go and get them. You have to go and find them.
Yeah.
Where a lake, you could pretty much study that lake and actually work it around and eventually hit upon a peacock bass. But dude, any time of the year, I don't want to stress it for you guys. It's literally any time of the year you'll hit them.
That's cool. That's cool to know, man. Because we get tough times out on the lakes. I mean, we're hitting 40 degrees. High of 60.
I don't know what that is.
Lake waters, you know, I was fishing lake waters that were 62, 63 this year, you know, even down to 60 this year.
Wow.
You know, and it just gets to the point where you have to slow down no matter what you do. Have to slow down. You know, obviously you wait for that afternoon bite, you know, because when it warms up, they'll get a little bit more active. But yeah, I mean, you can still catch fish, but it's such a grind. And I didn't know how they related to that colder. You know,
don't get me wrong.
You're not getting as cold as we do. You're not getting frost.
we were just talking about this. Joe and I were talking about this. It has nothing to do with the temperature of the water, but it does have to do with the speed in which you're retrieving your bait, right, or your lure. So I typically find when they're schooling, there's times where they're schooling and they're very aggressive. You can throw anything at that school and catch, you know, and get a bite. But there's schools that don't hit the top of the water, so you don't know they're there, but they're schooling. I've slow rode worms and caught them.
Nice.
So it depends. It depends on how hungry they are. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're easy, but you got to figure them out.
Yeah, it's one of those fish where you have to literally see what the characteristics are in that day and
That'd be a fun
what to do. You know.
Yeah, that'd be a fun fish to go chase. I mean, I like the challenge, you know, and Andrew would be the first one to tell you, because Andrew actually was beside me where we were trying to figure out how to catch these fish, because, you know, let's be honest, you throw anything in the water and a bear money was going to eat it. But for us that day, because of the way it was, I sat there and watched a guy that knows these fish, you know, like yourself, Nicholas, and just sat there and watched him and watched the fish react to him and what he was doing and how he was doing it. And then it was like, light bulb, I know what to do.
We'll see.
But listen. So I fish Peacock every time I'm out there.
Right. Yeah. Right? Yeah. You catch it a lot. Yeah.
I've literally taken people out there and not catch one. And I'm thinking to myself, you've got a school of like 5 huge peacock bass right in front of you. And there's just people like that. I mean, they don't have the feel, they don't have the muscle memory to fish.
Yeah.
Andrew, you know, no pun intended. But I don't think me and Andrew have ever fished together, so I don't know I'm going based off what his friends are saying.
I've got one thing up on Dave. I've caught peacock bass before. So
spot on.
I've always wondered that, and this is no joke. I've always wondered, Andrew, whenever we do go fishing, whenever we get that chance to go fishing, do I have to treat it like if I'm going out with my son?
Yeah.
Yes.
You got ties.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because I have to bring the live bait with me. You know what I mean?
Are you bringing snacks?
And a bobber. Bring a bobber.
If you're not,
that's exactly
snacks,
what my son would say all the time. Are you bringing snacks?
Yeah, you better bring a snack pack and some Capri Suns for Andrew.
One Capri Sun.
What is it? A juice box. Bring a juice box.
I need 2 at least per sitting.
He's a Capri Sun. He's not a juice box guy. He's a Capri Sun guy.
Oh, dude. Then you ain't gonna catch him. You ain't gonna catch him, bro.
Oh, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah,
man.
That's awesome. We're definitely going to have to make a trip. We need to.
Oh, bro, it'll be a pleasure. It'll be a pleasure.
Yeah, we got to do a fun thing, man. We need to do. I don't know, Andrew, Joe. I mean, we need to figure out some kind of a blog thing to do. You know, just a little video. Everybody have the GoPros or something like that, and just kind of set it up, and we'll get Nicholas back on, and we'll talk smack and who did what, and show a little bit of video clip and stuff like that. Would be cool.
Yeah, you know, these peacock are very cool, and I'm talking this based on people here are doing YouTube channels and they're like vloggers, right? These anglers down here, they're the best fish to grab underwater footage from, because they're the easiest thing to do that, because most of my peacock fishing is sight fishing. Okay, so they will go back to their spot. They're one of those fish that will go back. It won't take them some time. No, they'll go back to their spot. So I've literally post my camera and stuff like that, set it up right on their bed or wherever they're hanging out.
Really?
They're the coolest thing. Yeah, coolest thing.
That's awesome.
And they'll like peck the camera. Yeah, they're not scared.
They'll peck the camera, right? I've had that happen to me too. So.
Or the bedding ones. Sometimes you can just drop the GoPro right on the bed.
Right on them.
Kind of like looking at it. Yeah.
Right on them. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like we got to do that, guys.
Definitely.
I'm definitely down. Joe, it's up to you, buddy.
Let's keep going.
We got to find a time.
I want to know, because we all talked about a challenge last time. and I want to know.
Oh, the
now
challenge.
that I'm here, I want to know
so
what
that
would
was
that
Joe
be.
and Nick. Yeah, that was a Joe and Nick challenge right
So
there.
what do you want to do? What do you want? How do we want to do this? Wait.
Dude, this is what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking we'll do. Well, can you hit it? Where are you actually located? Because I don't even know
about
that.
3 hours from you, a little bit
Oh,
north.
Lord.
But I can make the run. It's okay. We'll figure it out.
That's an excuse. No, that's an excuse already. We gotta think about it. We gotta think about it because I don't want no excuse. Like I don't want to go there and have some excuse or
Understood.
like you get what I'm saying? I mean, you respect that, right? I mean, I'm not trying to.
So what we can do is I'll already be there that night before.
Okay.
Whatever. Well, we'll get a hotel or something. We'll figure it out.
So here's what I think, Andrew. Andrew, now these two are going at it. You know, you and I are going to sit on the sidelines on this one because it started last week.
Yeah.
Dave, you and I need to have a camera. We need to narrate.
I think we need to do something like that. Yeah, take care of the guys.
Yeah.
But here's what I think. This is the challenge that I throw out to you two. Okay, you guys started it. This is a Nicholas and a Joe challenge. I think one day on a weekend, you do the Peacock. Go ahead, let's get the bragging rights on it done.
Okay, land or kayak or boat, whatever.
I'm good with whatever.
He could be on. Listen, I'm so confident. I'm so confident. He could be. I'll give him the right to get a guide.
Damn.
Whatever it is.
If you can get if you can get a guide, down here, okay? I would allow you to get a guide. Like I wouldn't mind you getting a guide, and I'll stick with my kayak.
Joe,
so here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, so you go one weekend, one day, and do a Peacock. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Now the following weekend, or if we can do the following weekend, great. If not, the weekend after.
Right.
I think it needs to be a bass thing.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm thinking a Peacock thing and a bass thing. So now I think that's level playing grounds, because look, I know Joe can do some Peacock, but look, I'm sorry, Joe. Nick's the man when it comes to Peacock, dude. He's blasting social media.
Dude, I wouldn't say that, man. You guys,
you are
appreciate that, right? You guys are blasting it like if I'm like the guru, the Peacock guru down here. There's so many other anglers I know of that I just don't remember all of their names, but they're so much better than I am.
But we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what kind of skills Nick has, and we're gonna find out what kind of skills Joe has.
Does size matter?
Put it there.
Does size matter?
Are we doing like
I mean, I know size matters.
Look.
But does the size matter in this?
I have a filter. Andrew's put a filter on me because he'll cut me off and put me on some like timeout thing.
Andrew's constantly on the mute button. So if Dave ever cuts out on purpose. Do you want to do numbers? Do you want to do length? Do you want to do weight?
I mean, I would say numbers. I mean, because
yeah, because length.
You're not. I'll tell you this right now with 100%. I'm 100% confident. You're not going to catch nothing more than 6 pounds down here.
So look. How about we do this?
I'm not trying to be mean or trying to do this.
No. I know how rare it is to catch something over.
No. So yeah, I mean, okay. So we both agree on that. Okay, cool.
I've got it. So here's what we'll do. We're gonna do one day Peacock, one day bass. We're gonna do numbers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do some kind of a side pot kicker. Andrew and I will figure that out.
Okay.
The side pot kicker is big Peacock, the largest Peacock. We will have a
largest Peacock
for the largest Peacock.
I'll do that
for the largest bass. And Andrew and I will figure out what the side pot kicker will be for that.
Okay.
Andrew and I will put something together through our networks and have a surprise for each.
And we'll use the Catch Commander scale.
Yes, we'll use the Catch Commander scale. I have one in my boat, and Andrew just bought one.
Cool. I'm probably gonna buy one too because mine just died yesterday. So.
I'll do it definitely.
Better go see Mike.
I know. I know. He's gonna get a call tomorrow.
Jesus.
No, that's what. Okay, so what if we tie? Like, what if Nick
was gonna tie?
I don't think that's. Listen, I'm with Andrew. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No. I'm saying, what if
No. Okay, so if it does,
I beat him on bass.
No. If it does,
tiebreaker species.
No.
I think we should listen. I honestly think we should just keep it at bass, peacock bass. I mean, because bass. I mean,
now I hear an excuse.
Oh, you hear that?
no.
What's going on? This thing on?
Hey, listen. If you want to continue, we'll do that. Hey, we'll do that. We'll do that. I just feel like because you're putting bass in it, I think it's because you have a lack of not catching peacock. So now you have to put bass into it.
I just think you're scared.
Dude, I'm sorry. I can catch a bass. Listen, probably not monsters you catch, but I can catch bass all day. I mean, I can go right now and catch you a bass. But a peacock bass, you have to look for them. You have to find them, and then now we're doing a big peacock bass. So,
dude, now I gotta break this guy I looked up to his heart my whole peacock career.
I love you, Joe. I love you, Joe. The fact that you say I'm a legend, I gotta.
Yeah, the tiebreaker.
I appreciate that, bro. I mean,
tiebreaker
it kills me every time you say that. It kills me.
What's the tiebreaker, Dave?
Big
I feel so old when you say I'm a legend. I don't know. I don't know why I feel that way when someone tells me I'm a legend. Why? I feel so old,
dude. Because heroes come and go and legends never die, Nicholas. You are a freaking legend, my boy, and you kill it.
Won.
Bro.
You won. What do I have to give you? You won.
Give me the peacock spots, man. Shoot.
That's it. Hey, I'm not. Hey, listen. I am not one of those anglers that sits here and tells you, "Do I have the secret spot?" I'll tell you. I'll be more than happy to tell you all these spots. The question is if you can catch them.
I do the same thing. Hey, where you fishing, bud? Right here. Good luck.
Right. Where'd you catch your fish? Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a specific spot. I'm not one of those guys that's like, let me write down this spot and see if I can keep that a secret. I really am not like that.
Those fish are like, it's just so vast down there, man. Yeah. They're not always where they always were, like all the time. Like it's another creature down there, man. And those canals go for miles and miles, and you got to find them. Like you said, it's tough.
Right. Tough. It really is tough.
You make it look.
I think it's time to do some homework, do some planning.
Can I give you a secret on the whole social media thing, so you guys can get that right? So you guys see me post all the time, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I probably already mentioned this, but I video. So I work 5 days a week. I'm sure many of you guys do too, but I take out one day out of 2 weeks to go fishing. Okay? I take pictures of the videos I take or I make. Shots of the videos, and I post them throughout the week.
And that's how you do it. But you have awesome freaking days, man. You have 2 weeks worth of content in one day,
yeah, because I have that in my mind when I go out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's stuff. What happened?
Dave,
So listen. So that's why I'm saying I am 100% confident that I have no problem with you coming down here on a boat, on a guide. You can pick any greatest guide you want down here.
Oh man,
we've got Bass listen, a Bass Online guide that I know of. I can even hook you up with that guy.
I have a guide.
I got you a kayak guide. I would like to do it on a kayak. I would like to fish however you're fishing. If you do land, I want to do land. Just
right.
I just don't feel right. I just don't feel right. I don't want no excuses when I whoop that behind.
Well, it's not an excuse if I'm allowing it. So I'm telling you, I really don't mind you doing the whole calling up a guide and
do it,
squaring off.
I can't accept that win if I win. That's on me. I can't do that more.
All right. Anyway. But we have to do it sometime in the summer, and this is an excuse because I am so busy this couple of months, bro. I'm like,
I know, dude. I got like 50 people, 50 graduations I need to get to.
Yeah.
Work is just crazy, and like you said, man, you're just your average everyday guy, just making it happen.
Yeah, man.
That's what makes.
I try, bro. I mean, I have a passion for this, so it's
That's awesome.
That's what makes you a legend in my book, dude. You're just a dude.
I appreciate that. Not a lot of people really view it like that. Once you get involved in the social media thing, and once you try to, whenever you're trying to hustle for something, even if you don't really know what you're doing and you're learning as you go, you're always going to have those haters always telling you, 100%. This and that. And you're going to have those guys that are shining, right? And they have the ability to shine because they're either like living in their mom's house and they're, they have the money to do it. Dude. So my Tackle Fishing Adventures, let me do a plug here. So Tackle Fishing Adventures, my YouTube channel, I have 377 subscribers. Okay. That's 377 subscribers that I've gained in 2 years, fishing once every 2 weeks, if that.
It's strong. That's strong.
You know?
Imagine
once a month.
I would rather those organic subscribers than pay to get subscribers or go and get a toy and put a hook on a toy and try to see if that's creative enough. I get it. There's people that make a living off these things and they have to do things like that, or they're pushed to do things like that, but that ain't me,
that's
brother.
What we do here is keep everything organic as well with the NextFish platform. Platform. I mean, it's
very, very organic.
Andrew and I are very, very particular when it comes to how we do things, and that's one of the things that we definitely have.
That's good, man. That's something you always want to keep, and as you get known and as you get, you know, I'm not gonna say, I hate to using the word famous, but as you get like known in your community and known in social media, it's always good to stay humble, dude. Always good to stay humble, keep your ground, know where you come from, know where you came from.
100%.
Like I'm always gonna be, even if my goal here, like I don't have a goal in this industry. I always tell people, because people ask me all the time, what's your goal in this industry? I got companies always asking me, what's your goal in this industry? What are you trying to do from this? Honestly, I feed off of of the industry. I love the industry. I love people who have the same passion as I do. We share the same, you know, passion. Like that's the stuff that keeps me going and doing these things. And because I love technology and how this has all helped out the industry, you know, get out there more. But you know, fishing is fishing. It's always been like that for me. So
it's a perfect example. You know, I'm a tournament angler. I fish.
Yep.
I give back to all my sponsors, you know, and that's why they sponsor me.
Good
you know, I'm not Kevin Van Dam, okay, but I have value, and when I'm out there, it's guys like you that give me, you know, money in my pockets to go out there to fish, because I also work in the fishing industry, and it's guys like you that we say, hey, here's some of our product. Get out there. I've been noticing you. You know, you're a good dude. You do it right. We want you to represent us, and you do represent us. Now you've got 377 of your followers also buying this product, and that means I'm making 377 more customers myself.
True.
So,
and look, and even if they don't, right? Even if they don't buy the product, I see. This is one thing I've learned through this too, and this is something I can reflect on with you guys and people who are watching, is that even if you don't like all this stuff, fishing for me has brought me so much experience and so much knowledge. It's so crazy. Like I've never thought myself as a business guy. When I first started this, people were like, "You know what you're doing, right?" I'm like, "What am I doing?" He's like, "You're marketing. You're marketing. You're doing business." And I've noticed it myself. Like when I first started the kayak fishing, and I had all those cheap ass Ascends and, you know, like beginner kayaks. Okay. I was on OfferUp trying to do business and trying to negotiate to get better at kayak fishing, so I would get a better boat and all that stuff. And I've noticed I've done that. And with social media, I've done the same thing too, like with these pictures and stuff like that. Like a lot of people told me, well, you're posting so many freaking pictures. Don't do that. That's terrible. That's bad. It looks like you're freaking desperate. And no, if I have the ability to do that without getting stressed, without being overwhelmed, why the hell not?
Right.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like
you, bud. I'll take 100 guys like you all day long.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
And again, I get it. I'm wearing something that I believe in, right? Yeah. You got those people that say, I got something that I believe in, but listen to me. If I'm an owner of a company, you don't have to lie to your audience. You don't have to lie to companies, and you don't have to lie to me. And I know, dude, you're a professional fisherman, or you're hustling and fishing, and I'm a company. If I find that you are the one who's going to support me no matter what, here, take it. Yeah. You don't have to be, when you represent a company, I feel like you don't have to be the type to be like trying to sell a product.
Yep.
Right. You sell yourself. You sell your realness and
you get a reputation in this. Look,
yeah.
The fishing industry is small. You know, everybody's
really small,
large, and this, that, and the other. It's very small, and you have to handle yourself accordingly. You know, if you go about it the right way and properly, you get run down and asked. You know, just like I just recently did. So I've got 2 other sponsors that I can't name at this time, conflicting. But we'll be on for next year. You know, APCO was one of the 3 that I just grabbed, but they came to me because of my reputation. I work before I'll never ask. I'll never ask. I will work, like, for instance, right now with Vector Hooks. I'm helping Vector Hooks out. Nice. It's a brand new company, up and coming. We're going to be on the road tomorrow. I'm going to help him out with some stuff. Good friend of mine, Brad Watley, Elite Bass Pro. That's one of his sponsors. And, you know, it's all, you know, for Brad, he gets paid by sales of hooks. So as a friend, I have hookups in tackle shops, and
that comes with the territory. I mean,
you do for, and look, if I need a hook deal next year, I'm sure I could go and get it. No, but you do things for people, and you will get it in return. And it's something I've done. My mentor, Paul Mickley, you know, he trained me, you know, showed me the ropes, talked to the people, how to handle myself, told me it's a small industry. You do it the right way, you will never have a problem. And I agree. The way I live it, man. That's the way I live it, and that's what I do. And it works.
Look, listen, so the viewers can understand, like, I know my place. That's one thing. I'm aware of where I'm at. I just started doing this, so I'm new to this. I'm not sponsored. I mean, I don't get huge discounts, but, like, I don't take those things for granted. You know what I mean? If a company is willing to do that for me, they know that there's going to be content out there, but I don't have to sit there and be a slave to them. I don't have to sit there and try to sell a product. Like, I mean, I honestly use every single thing out in the market, or I will is what I mean. Like, obviously I don't use all of it, but if it was up to me, I would use, no matter, even if it's a competitor's. If it's something I use, if it's something I like to use, then I'll use it. Yeah. But I think it's what you're saying. It's more of that bonding with that person and showing that, you know, you're there for whatever. I'm there to help you for whatever. And that's, you know, and you're helping for the only reason, like, the only reason I would help you is because you're a small company, or you're a company that's trying to hustle in the same industry that I am a huge fan of, and that's fishing, to support fishing. You know, in this case, I'm talking about, in this case, you know, we're fishermen. So exactly. I'm not sponsored. I'm not sponsored by Nine. I'm not sponsored by AFCO. I have friends that have hookups or whatever, you know, and I'm not shy to say it. I have these things.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with that. But I feel like you need that to build, because there's some people that tell me, oh, you shouldn't be a pro style. Like, you don't do that stuff. Wait until somebody comes after you. Well, that's a part of going up the ladder, isn't it? Like,
well, you built a resume. You're doing it the right
exactly.
way.
Exactly.
Doing it.
Which I have, by the way.
You know, it's a matter of time. You know, and if you wanted it, you could get it because of your exposure you have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what we look for in the industry, is guys like you that have that exposure. You know, and of course it comes with rules. You know, obviously, you know, competitors, you know, your competition type of thing. You can't.
Of course.
You know, and do that kind of stuff. You know, you know, the people are investing in you. You know, and like, my sponsors are all family to me. I'm on a first name, call them at any time, and not even talk fishing, you know, and if they need anything, I'm there for them, and I use their product. And I've had other companies come after me and ask me to be part of it. But those companies that have been supporting me, am I supposed to leave them and be that next guy on, you know, that next ass, you know, pardon my French, that kicked somebody to the curb that believed in you and gave you an opportunity?
Trust me,
you know what I mean?
Completely agree with
just because it's a prettier dance partner, you know, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that, you know, and that's it's one of those things, man. It truly is, you know.
Well, I mean, the difference here is that I'm not to give you credit, you know, you do that for a living, right?
Yeah.
So like you need to have that connection with brands.
Yeah.
It's healthy for you.
100%.
I'm not there yet, so I can't really talk so much about it or as deep as you're talking about it, but I'm aware of all those things, and I'm learning. You know, I make mistakes, you know, and
We all have.
but you need to make those mistakes. I'm a big believer in that, you know, and I'm a big believer also is like not just in mistakes, but if you don't go out there and expose yourself, how the hell? Some people think that you're just gonna sit on a chair. Oh, I'm a fisherman. I want to be sponsored by somebody, and then expect them to you're gonna have boxes delivered, you know, things to you. Doesn't work that way.
Oh my
At
God.
all. Doesn't work that way.
It's something Andrew caught some of that with me this week already. It's something that gets under my skin. It truly is. It bothers the heck out of me because I feel if someone's going to invest their time, their money, their product in me, that I'm 110% going to invest back in them. And I will do whatever they ask of me at any time. And that's something that I've always believed in.
Well, that's one of my things I'm doing recently.
Guys that don't do that, just man, and Andrew will tell you, dude, I was hot earlier this week.
Yeah.
I was hot.
I think I've told Andrew this before, and I think he asked me one day. He's like, "Well, what are you trying to find from companies? What is it I think that's something somewhere around those lines." And I told him, I was like, first, I want a company that believes in the people that are trying to represent them. Because I feel like there's a lot of companies out there that are just doing it. You're just another person we're using to market. Yeah. And that's wrong too. You can't short sell yourself like that either, just because you want free product. You know? But so I've learned that. I've really learned that.
Like, there's people out there that will do that, you know. Like Dave said, it's about for me, it's about the relationships and the relationships that Dave's going to build, and my relationship with Dave that took time. You know, I didn't. How many shows did I go to, Dave, and talk to you before I even got?
There was two shows you came to. The third show you bought rods, and the fourth show we had from there. Staff, you know, and it was something we talked about at the first show. And I've got a rod, and I love the rod, and I'm gonna buy another one today. And I'm like, cool, you know, I'll give you a little bit of a break. And you know, and Joe was like, you know, how do I go about doing sponsorship stuff? And I said, well, what do you have to offer? You know, because when you do sponsorship stuff, you shouldn't go to that, whoever it is. Let's say for me, Reaper Rods. Okay. When Joe came to me. Okay. And you don't go and say, hey, can I have rods? We hear that daily. We hear it daily. I'm sure. I really love your rods. How can I go about representing you? And this is what I have to offer you. And you give them, this is what I can offer you. This is what I can do for you. Now you'll have my attention. But if you're sitting there with your hand out like 100 million freaking anglers do, you know, it gets redundant. People don't want to hear it, you know. And
especially in your position, you hear it all the time. So it's like, you know that you could catch that whiff of that right before it gets to you. So dude, completely understand.
Oh, yeah. And like for Joe, for example, Joe earned it. You know, Joe showed me. And I told him, I said, let me start seeing some Reaper stuff on social media. Here's a hat. You know, here's a T-shirt, and you know, and he bought his rods, and you know, it's something that, you know, when I saw that, I was like, okay, let's talk.
Yeah,
Put him on pro staff, and our pro staff guys, we don't give them rods. You earn it every year. Every year, the more you do, the less money you pay for your rod. And if you're just kind of staying there and you're still doing your stuff, you pay the same price.
Yep.
You know, we have a 5-year plan. And if you bust your butt in that 5-year plan, we'll talk free rods. Yeah. But you got to be doing some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's expensive.
And of course, if you're a tournament angler and stuff like that, that also helps. It's a big push.
And like you said, Nick, you got to believe in. I believe in Reaper rods. I'm never going to buy any other brand of rod again, whether I'm on pro staff, whether I produce content or anything. Whether I get dropped, whatever the case may be, I love Reaper rods, and I stand behind them 1,000%.
Right.
and it's the only rods I own at this point.
Right.
And like Dave said, I purchased them. Like I wanted them. I believe in them, and I grew from there. You know, and like you said, Nick, you know your lane. You got to know what you can offer and what you can't.
Your weakness,
don't
you gotta know your
but don't also bring those false expectations either. You know,
exactly.
It's a fine line you got to walk, and you got to be really real with yourself and with the company that you're going after or that's coming after you. Like Dave said, you just gotta be real. As long as you're real, you'll be okay. No pun intended.
Dude, I'll tell you right now. So I'm working my way because I when I first started fishing, I fished with mediocre stuff. Okay. Walmart stuff.
Yeah.
And
we all start there.
If you come right now and look at my rod setup right now, you would think, okay, so I mean, have you made up your mind which one you like? You know what I mean? But honestly, like I think I enjoy more what I'm doing with those things than those things.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
Does that make sense to you?
And so Nick, it seems like maybe the sponsorship route's not your route. You know,
maybe not.
It's not. I wouldn't call it limiting again because specifically, we're talking Reaper rods. Let's stay on there. I love Reaper rods. I know I don't want an Abu Garcia or another brand, a St. Croix. If you're not confident in that you don't need to be doing that. Like you don't need to tie yourself down.
No,
of course, no.
You know, you're a guy, and you don't want to be that guy. And you have one of those guys that live in your backyard who does that on a regular.
Okay.
You know, no names.
Okay.
No names.
No names. No names. But okay, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
But I mean, this it's a side point is that I've been using the Luz reels and rods, and I've found that I've liked them. I like them better than the selection I've had. So I mean, that's
they got some good stuff.
Yeah,
12 years. I've been with Luz for 12 years. You know, that's part of the pro staff that I do with him. And I'll tell you what, not just because I'm on the pro staff with him, even if I wasn't. Again, I would own those reels. I've had no problems. I've never had a problem. I've had one bearing, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know,
one bearing one time. Like, and Dave fishes, Nick. Let me tell you, this guy don't fish once every 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I mean, and for what I do too. I mean, we're talking 65-pound blade. You know, so
stacking them.
We're not talking just
But you know what? I don't wish. It's not that I wish it. Because I understand there's another side of Dave, I'm sure, and competing anglers. It becomes a job.
And that's where I'm not. I make sure.
Right? Because I hear a lot of people say, oh, dude, I go out there every day. But I'm sure you're not liking that.
No. It's fun, man. It's not work.
It's not work? Oh, well.
Every day. Andrew and I talk about it every day, man.
Yeah.
Andrew and I talk about it every day. This isn't work. And like Andrew, in the situation Andrew's in, you know, we had a discussion yesterday and he's just like, dude, I'm so ready to be full time. He's like, this is so much fun with you. And we are having so much fun. And Andrew had literally thrown about 100 things at me today. And my mind was just like, I wasn't focused today. And I was
great,
you know, sorry, bud, you know, but the whole thing is, it's not work for us, man. It really isn't.
Yeah.
It really isn't. It truly isn't. So,
agreed, brother.
No, and that's you know, to wake up every day, to be in the fishing industry and go fishing.
What else do you want, right?
You know what? I'm also blessed too. I forgot to mention this. I'm also blessed that we have these exotics down here because there's a lot of companies that need to rep their stuff, and it's cool to rep them with some peacock bass. That's my line. That's the line I give. Sometimes I give these companies these lines like, you know, I've been on your page and I haven't seen nothing with peacock bass in there.
Dude, you have a market that's untapped. So tap it. Let me tell you,
you truly do.
No, but I mean, you understand what I'm saying. Like you know, when you get into this game, you start noticing what your weaknesses are and what your strengths are, and you know, people hate on the fact that because I'm peacock fishing, I have that ability that it's, you know, it's easy, but it really isn't. Even though I have them, you know.
Just keep doing you, bud. You're definitely on the right path, man.
Anyway, I feel like Andrew has something to say.
Andrew looks like he's got a poop.
He's thinking.
No, I'm thinking. I like to sit quiet and take this stuff in.
I think
I like that. That's a good method.
We went from 30 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes.
Did we? Is it an hour and 30 minutes? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude.
We're a little bit out there,
man. Good
but
conversation, and
you know,
we appreciate your time, man. Because I know,
hey, no problem, brother.
for all of us. So
Yeah, it's all.
No,
hey,
make sure you guys.
It's good stuff, man. That's
Yeah.
I appreciate
Make sure you
that,
guys
man.
follow
I
Nicholas.
appreciate that.
Follow Nicholas
I
on
appreciate
social
that.
media, Instagram, TikTok. It's been scrolling across the entire time.
yeah, right. Tackle fishing adventures. You won't be disappointed with the content you see on this guy's all of his accounts.
Thanks,
man.
bro. Appreciate
And
that.
there'll be something there for you every single freaking day. I promise you that. So, follow this guy.
If I miss a day, bro, I'm sorry.
Somebody
I'm so sorry.
check on him. If this guy misses a day, please send police, SWAT, National Guard, send them all because something's off.
Big thanks to Buffer. That app is amazing because that's what allows me to do what I do. Because I get to schedule it one day. I schedule all my pictures throughout the week. I don't have to sit there in the morning and like, oh my god, it's 5 something. I have to.
Stress.
So it helps. It helps. But anyway, it was a pleasure talking to you guys. You guys are awesome. Cool. I'm glad to be. I was able to come out and talk to you guys.
Definitely.
We'll get this challenge lined up so I can put that whooping on you.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. Tight lines to you guys. Be safe.
Yes.
Take care, man.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Later. Yep.
All right, guys. My computer has been all jacked up the entire last half hour.
Yes, this whole time. First it was Dave.
We've been good. We've been good.
Yeah, me and Dave been chilling. We've been talking and you've been
well,
over
good.
here.
Somebody's got to carry on the show.
It was. I didn't know if it was
no.
glitching or if you were just like in the statue mode or something. Like you were just kind of like that though.
Who's in the 10
but listen.
Wow.
Yeah, right. No,
you're in the
so
shed now,
Thursday, guys, we've got Bailey Butcheries coming in. He's a Bass Master Open pro angler. That was like a tongue twist for a second. He's a good friend of mine. He actually represents Bass Assassins, Bang Fish Attractant. And then he is also with Proficiency, which is a company that I work closely with. And they've got a lot of cool things coming. He's going to have a lot of cool things to talk about. So it'll be something exciting to hear. And other than that, it is way past my bedtime.
Me too. I got to be up at 5 a.m., y'all.
Oh.
Pray for me.
30.
God bless you, Dave. But what are you doing? You're probably doing something fun. I got to work. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave.
Oh, I leave Sarasota.
Dave's doing something fun. He's doing something fun.
Over to Lake Wales Bridge Masters, down to Lake Placid, and back to Sarasota. Round trip of the state of Florida.
That's a trip, bud. That's a trip. I'm sure he'll hit all the great eateries along the way, too.
Yeah.
Dave knows the spots.
Oh, I will be bringing home some barbecue. You know where, too.
Exactly where you're going to get it from, you son of a gun.
Smoke Shack.
Smoke Shack is lit.
Well, guys.
All right, guys. Till
everybody
Thursday,
have a good night. We are out. Thursday, 8:30. See you.